Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you. And non-subscribers, I'm hoping to tease you into pushing that button. This past fall, I completed my 38th year coaching football, and I was a defensive coordinator. But over that time, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, a longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation today, as a part of my defending run schemes on the whiteboard playlist, I want to introduce you to how we defend versus the inside veer triple option, okay, with what we simply call the 5 slot blocks. Okay, and so all I'm going to do is introduce you to this whole concept that becomes the foundation in our 3-4 as to how when we're playing a team that will run the inside veer triple option, I have it under center right now, but it could be out of the gun. Either way, inside veer is inside veer. Okay. So over here are going to be the key terms that are involved in these 5 slot blocks that again becomes the foundation as to how we look to take away all 3 phases of the inside veer triple option, dive, quarterback, and pitch, right? And included in that will be how we're able to not be caught by play action pass, okay? And then I'm not going to diagram anything, but I'll use this diagram to help explain the key terms, and then I'll finish up the whole presentation by going through a couple of things using the diagram again. It's static diagram. I'm not planning on drawing anything up specifically. So the first key term itself is inside veer, okay, triple option. So as we know, right, there's multiple gaps that can be attacked here in any run game. But when it comes to triple option, the inside veer, the B gap area is typically the dive. Okay? C to possibly D gap is where the quarterback, right? So if he pulls it, keeps it, now it becomes the quarterback phase. And then the D gap area definitely is the pitch. Okay? So essentially B, C to D, right? B, C to D. It's a B gap outward play. Okay? So that's very, very important to understand. And again, whether it's under center from the gun, it's still a B gap C to D. So B gap out triple option. So here's how we look at it. We look at it as the tackle and the play side slot key. Tackle, play side slot key, right? Remember, I'm not going to get into anything specific static diagram, but if this A back motions, this A gap becomes the play side slot. If this A back, were to motion, this slot and tackle becomes play side. Okay? So we teach surface all the time, which is the offensive line, but for the inside veer triple option, for us, the surface is play side tackle, play side slot. And again, if he goes in motion, play side tackle, play side slot. Okay? And the key with the tackle is this. Remember, play action pass. The off the tackle, whether he's in a 4-point, which I realize is becoming a little bit less and less, but when he's working vertically, okay, whether he arc releases outside or he what we call veer releases, which is inside our defensive end, he's sifting upfield to block an inside linebacker. So when our players see that, they know it's a run. Their eyes go boom to boom. When that offensive tackle is hi-hatting it because it's pass, they do it. Even the triple option teams, inside veer teams, are in 4-point stances. That stance changes when he's going to pass set. Even if it's kind of a half-hearted little step forward, it's totally different looking. Okay, so this is our surface is narrowed to the tackle and the slot. Okay? And so then from there, we have our play side slot blocks. All right, so again, the tackle, he either outside or inside releases, and then he works upfield. It's called sift. He sifts up to the linebackers. And if the play side linebacker is already gone, he's looking for backside. Okay? So then what's the play side slot block do? So let me just take a second now and come over to here. I have both our defensive ends, okay, 3-4, the guys on the tackle, have a triangle around them in the number 1. In our 3-4, they're always the dive key. Okay, this is inside Veer, right? B gap. It's the first defender outside of the guard. Well, there he is. Okay? We do not, I repeat, we do not determine before the ball snapped who's got the dive, who's got the quarterback, who's got the pitch. We let the play side tackle and the play side slot block tell us who's got the dive, who's got the quarterback, who's got the pitch. Okay? So again, that's very important. If this A-back motions, these are the 2 play side blocks. If this A-back motions, these are the 2 play side blocks. Okay? So that's huge. Again, I do not determine before the ball snapped who's got what. So then this is how we teach it. The play side blocks are as follow, and that's what these numbers mean in red, right? The numbers tag symbol and the 1. So the number 1 block that we teach is the inside linebacker. Okay, so again, I'm going to keep it static. But when the slot, if he goes in motion, when this slot is working to block him, the tackle will inside release, usually, because otherwise they'll knock each other off. And if he outside releases, they must be taking wider splits, which is common to try and widen out the dive key. But when this slot works up to here, he knows he's now the pitch key. The quarterback defender who's got to feather the pitch, okay, as the pitch key. Okay, but see, this is what I mean. If they're going to block here, then we have 1, 2 guys who are unblocked. He blocks most dangerous, and that's going to be the corner. So see, this is why we don't predetermine anything. Okay? The number 2 is when they're going to try and get the pitch key, right? Number 1, and the next guy outside, as far as triple option teams go, he's supposed to be the pitch key. When they're trying to block the pitch key, he's got to keep his feet because now he's unblocked. He sees that and he knows he's got to come screaming downhill, but then he read this first to make sure that he wasn't pass setting, right? So then the number 3, and this is the toughie, when they arc block your safety. But see, we have something built in on that, the way we teach our outside linebackers to protect that safety. If he can get to the safety, you got trouble. Because what they're really saying is it's the quarterback's thinking pitch first, okay, keep second. And so if he's ever able to get to the safety, more often than not, you got problems. Okay, but all of this will tie in if you watch each and every one of the presentations that I have on each of these blocks individually. Okay, now number 4, the corner. When the slot is running to kick out the corner, that means the wide receiver is trying to crack block your safety. Okay, and that's why we prefer to utilize, feather technique, baby. So put a little indecision. Don't make the read real easy so the ball's gone right now. Make the quarterback keep it as long as possible so you can allow people the opportunity to pursue and defeat the crack scheme. If the ball's pitched, they're not going to have the opportunity to do that. And then the 5th and final block is when he's going to try and They're going to block the dive key. He's going to come down and block it. And again, whether he inside or outside releases as the offensive tackle, what that usually means is it's short yardage, and they're just trying to get the dive or the fullback right off the edge and just get the first down and move the sticks. But again, if you are patient and watch each and every one of these individual presentations on slot block number 1, the inside linebacker, then another presentation on number 2, outside linebacker, and so forth, you'll get all the ins and outs about the techniques and how we teach it and then drill it in practice. Okay? So as I said at the beginning, to my subscribers, I thank you. Non-subscribers, I hope I'm teasing you into pushing the button. To everybody, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com. Love to talk football with you. I want to thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football, and I want to thank YouTube for providing this platform.